Yeah, trendsetter. Whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I wrote, I'm a bestseller. Yeah, reach for my goals, hit it dead center. Hit it dead center. Bullseye, hit it the most, there's no misses. Something like fish in a barrel, it's no dip.
Boom! Guys, that theme song gets me going here. Welcome back, everyone. 4th annual Michael Turner mock draft. I got my numero uno with me, as always, Pedro. Happy Tuesday, buddy.
Happy Tuesday. It's getting a little cold out, getting some pumpkin spice in the air.
Right. Hey, I'm excited. Hey, you invited the brunette Carrot Top. That was a nice excitement for you to do that. Jeff, welcome aboard, man.
Glad I could participate, fellas.
Hey, great to be here. We lost.
I think last year it was just me and Pete, so happy to have you, Mike.
Mike, thanks for showing up.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry about that, guys. I'm almost always on one of these things. I apologize. It's great to have you back, Jeff. I teased you. It's the only right way to bring you in for episode 102. Stood up Steve and Brian. Are we surprised about either of those dropouts?
No. Yeah, Jeff, thank you for not being pneumonia positive.
Pneumonia. Well, we know Casey. We know if I had any type of cough, Casey would make me stay off the podcast. So glad I could be here.
Great to have you. Are you in Florida? Are you back up north yet?
I flew to Massachusetts this morning. You got to get to these drafts early. You got to do the background work. You got to scout what's going on. Drove by Pat DeLucas just to make sure I felt comfortable for the draft.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Probably walk around. I'll do a walkthrough in his backyard tomorrow. Make sure that I'm good.
Do you feel prepared for golf? I don't feel like we have a good golf situation set up. By the way, gang.
I think that Casey is very confused. I thought we agreed that he had the first pick in the draft, and for some reason he said he wants to see everybody on the putting green. So
yeah. Just so the audience knows, he texted me. He's like, "Hey, I'm going to pick you. Who should we get on the way around?" And then he didn't make a pick.
I'm very confused. The whole thing's going down.
He's not good at drafting, as we know. He's probably trying to move the pick right now. He's can't handle the pressure. He's texted who else? DeVito.
DeVito. No. He's offering the picks to DeVito. He forgot Steve wasn't even golfing, and he's like, "I'm giving you more picks."
He's just not good at drafting in the best play.
Oh man, Jeff, great to have you on. Well, we don't have to worry about. We don't at least have to worry about Casey's team this year for a draft. He doesn't have a pick in the first round, so that's going to be easy for us not to see what's going on there. We had a couple of previews, one from ChatGPT and one from Didarian. Did we have a second to look at the preliminary guesses of who's going to be a good team this year? Have we seen?
Well, I wanted you to walk me through the ChatGPT, how you set that up, Mike. I was intrigued by that.
I can do it.
Are you familiar with ChatGPT?
I've heard of it. Yes, it's AI.
ChatGPT's AI. This is sponsored by AI, OpenAI, and direct source to having all your information stolen. So essentially what you have to do on ChatGPT is just type prompts and it sends things to you. So sometimes I'll use it for I'm trying to research something. I'm like, I don't know where to start. And I got to the office pretty early today and I was like, I wonder if ChatGPT could produce. So I said, which team is the best? And I copied and pasted it. And then it was like, well, you have a strong tight end. And I'm like, timeout. So I wrote a pretty long script of tell me which teams are the best if you have a fully flex, no running back, no receiver, one quarterback, tight ends don't matter, half-point PPR, and I typed all these things, and that's what it spit out.
All right.
So it had a lot of prompts.
I mean, the breakdowns were nice. The rankings, did not see that coming.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, that was interesting. I would say that they were about as interesting as Christian's as well. So it's really crazy that Christian had his team number one in his rankings.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
That was a surprise.
I'm not sure why everyone keeps ranking me 10th. I didn't come in 10th last year. I'm better than Breen. I don't understand what's going on.
Hey, I just don't blame me. Blame the system. You can blame Elon Musk for my rankings.
I hate the whole system.
I will say, Pete, I went through the keepers. You have a couple guys that I wouldn't have kept.
Your team, your roster's not good. However, ranking, so that's why you're getting ranked 10th. I mean, let's be honest here. However, I would go back to when we talk about this guy's team's terrible, this one team every year. That's not the guy that finishes at 10th, right?
Yeah, you really think I'm finishing at 10th right now?
No, just because we're all saying it, none of us know what we're talking about. So,
are there any, as you guys were preparing, were there any teams when you looked at it, you were surprised at the quality either on the upside or the downside of the rosters? And if you haven't prepared, you can pass.
Pete's the regular here. I'll let him go first.
Yeah, I mean, my team is probably the weakest. I got some guys that are long shots, but that's kind of how I roll, you know? So, I don't know. There was some. I was surprised to see that ChatGPT picked DeVita to win it all. I do. Yeah, I do think he has a good team, but I was very shocked to see like number one. Okay.
I mean, I'll give you two. I'll give you one on the high end, one on the low end.
Yeah.
Really, you know, the interesting thing in this draft is going to be seeing what Larkin does for a quarterback. If he does a redraft with Tua, or you know, if he takes a rookie, what he's going to do, because he's got like really top end talent. Like his top four probably better than anyone's top four in the league. But you have to play quarterback every week. And even though quarterbacks aren't valuable in the league, they still score a lot of points and they can win you a week. So that's interesting. And then I would say, I don't really, I know you like him every year, Mike, he's your boy. Spates' team, I don't think is as good as people are saying it is.
Wow.
I just don't see, like, he's got two running backs he kept on the same team.
That's shocking.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see. Joe Mixon's old. He's on a new team. I don't know what he's going to do. He kept a backup running back in Charbonnet. Hopkins is out to start the year. So for me, I don't see it.
Yeah, I'm with you on Lloyd. I think Lloyd's team is pretty solid. Like, this is a good test of, like, it's easy to have fun and play a bunch of guys when you're supposed to be bad. When you're supposed to be good, it's hard to stay good. So that I agree with you on. The team that I was surprised about the lack of the depth quality, and I looked in the Super Bowl, but DeVito's team has some guys, and I'm like, we kept those guys, and he kept two quarterbacks, which again, nobody like. I look at the board and I'm like, man, you could get Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Tua, Dak, Brock Purdy. I'm like, man, all those guys. Like, sure, I mean, Burrow's good. No, two quarterbacks, three tight ends. One of them's Evan Ingram. I'm just like,
he kept three tight ends.
Three tight ends. Tyler Lockett might be the third best receiver now in Seattle. He's got Keenan Allen as maybe the third best receiver in Chicago. And Steve's a good coach. He's a good manager. He'll make some moves. He doesn't have draft picks. He's got a bunch of guys in the back of his roster. I'm like, I was surprised to see what I saw.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Surprised to see what I saw.
He's got like a couple of guys, and it was just surprising unless he was asking for too much or not asking anything. But it was interesting that he didn't make a move to try to trade one of those quarterbacks. Like, get a fourth, get something for Burrow, call Larkin. Yeah.
He overvalues him. He overvalues him way too much.
Yeah.
You can't trade a quarterback in our league. I offered Dak to everybody. Nobody wanted him.
You could trade a quarterback. You just need to be reasonable about what you're asking for. I mean, Pete and I both traded for Lamar Jackson last year. It's possible.
You have to set expectations better. Your expectations are all out of whack, Mike.
I offered Lloyd. I was like, Lloyd, give me a pick for Lamar and Dak. And he goes, I have no interest in Dak. So
you can get Dak with a 4th round pick.
Yeah, maybe. But even still, why not give him a 4th and just guarantee that you have him? It's
no one wants to keep him because you'd rather take a roll of dice on a high end person and go get Dak in the 4th round or somebody like Dak. Who cares?
Dak was the 3rd best quarterback in fantasy last year, and I couldn't trade him for 4th. It's still a fundamental flaw of the league. I'm over it. I'm not going to make a big deal about it. You just got to revalue quarterbacks. I'm not going to make a point. DeVita commented.
When you have the chance to keep Josh Palmer instead of Dak, you got to do it. You
know? Hey, we got our first comment.
Oh no, who is it from?
Andy DeVita says Kaleli missing S. Sleeves.
Wait, what?
Thanks, Angie. It's in the comment thing.
Wait, where does it say Kaleli missing S? Oh, what does that mean? I don't get it.
Sleeves.
Missing sleeves. Yeah, guns are out on.
He's gonna rip off that shirt and have a Hogan Trump shirt on underneath.
I got this is from China. The sleeves were too short when I got it, so I had to cut the sleeves off. This is my workout shirt. I gotta hop on the bike after this, guys. I gotta stay fit over here.
Are you working out? What are you doing? You're not working out.
I'm in a steps challenge at work, so I have to take 15,000 steps a day in order to win something.
Biking's the cheat code.
I put my phone in my pocket. I still move my legs.
Yeah, but biking is the cheat code on those challenges. That's what happens at my company. Anybody who rides a bike accounts like 10x.
See?
Yeah, Mike thinks shaving his head is working out.
Hey, it is working out, but I don't know why my camera's doing this again. Whatever. All right, we ready to talk some mock draft?
That beak, kids. Got that beak.
Are we ready to talk some mock draft or what?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Look at this. Yeah. Let's talk some mock draft. Look at what I got. All right. Dun, 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 boom.
Oh, I love this.
A great
So,
graphic.
Yeah, if you're looking at it, you can see what the order is on the far left, who owns the pick in between, and then we can kind of go down, and I can update this towards the end.
Love that.
So,
Awesome.
Yeah.
But when you guys prepped, what did you think of the people that were on the board? Any reactions to the picks we were about to make? Any commentary on that level?
I thought there were actually a lot of. I thought that it was actually a deeper draft than previous ones. Among drafts to have 10 picks in, this would probably be a pretty good one. I could see 10 draftable guys. There's a lot of.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. The more like I was looking at it, 3-4 weeks ago, and it was like, this draft's like 3 guys, 4 guys, and then you're done. But things have kind of developed over the preseason where I think maybe these guys aren't going to be like. There's maybe 2 or 3 guys that might produce this year. But I think from a longevity standpoint, there's some good value draft picks. Although I don't know if this was what Breen intended on when he tried to get 4 first-round picks in this draft. So bad luck there.
I was surprised when I did. I'm usually the type, I'm comfortable taking a non-rookie in the first round if I think my team can compete. I thought there were a lot of really interesting high potential rookies. I actually, when I mocked it out, and I did it a couple times, I could see 10 rookies going in the first round for the first time in a while.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, especially with the teams drafting.
Oh, great.
Green's not taking a redraft.
Nope.
Christian, I don't think he's ever taken a redraft.
Nope.
Speeds isn't. It's a lot. It's going to be a lot. Larkin isn't going to be a lot of young guys.
There's 2 guys who I potentially could see getting picked in the first round. I'll see if any of us go there. It's worth bringing up. I think we can get a couple spots. One, I thought it was 1 running back, 1 receiver. I saw as potential folks that could go. Do we think anyone would pick a quarterback?
No.
In the first round?
No. And here's why. I think that the one person that would be interested in taking a quarterback in the first round is CJ Spates, and he has 3 second-round picks.
Oh, yeah, no.
So somebody there is going to drop to him. I think he uses all the first on positional players.
Now, it was also interesting with him trading for the 2 pick as well with you, Pete. Had my own opinion on it, reached out to a couple guys around the league just, in trade talks, and a very varied opinion on that trade, I thought.
Tell us, what did you hear?
I want to know.
Some people thought it was good for CJ. Personally, I thought it was a nice trade for the 2 pick. What he got, I thought it was good for Pete for what he got. I thought it was a very fair trade.
Me too.
To be honest.
Who won the trade, Jeff? Who won the trade on the league-wide sentiment?
Pete.
Ooh.
Yeah. It was a straw poll, but
You texted one guy? You didn't text me, so.
No, I texted a couple guys. Yeah, a couple guys. I was already in some trade talks. You and you kept turning down my talks, so it wasn't really.
No, we weren't set up for trade.
We weren't active.
To me, the winner of that trade is completely dependent on what you think of Neighbors. If you think he's good, you think Spates won the trade. If you think he's got a terrible offense, he's going to stink. You think he won the trade. That's it.
I think Neighbors is fantastic.
Spot too.
I don't think Daniel Jones is very good.
No, me either.
Yeah,
but he may be a quarterback next year, so it's a long-term play. I would suppose.
Who do you think the first quarterback off the board is?
I think it's Jalen.
I would probably go. I don't know. I would say Tua. I think
Washington.
Jaden McDaniels. He's got a lot of. If you think it's Spates, he's got 2 Washington guys already.
He loves them apparently. Big offense. I should see if he wants McLaurin.
He has all that Redskins merchandise.
Yeah, right. And now the Indians want the name back, so he's keeping that. He might be able to wear it around the neighborhood soon.
He's got the double X size long shirt of the Commanders that he just wears around town.
I think that either Tua or Dak will probably be the first quarterbacks to go.
Ooh.
I don't know. I kind of think I don't know. Doesn't Tua have like a very good fantasy numbers? I have no clue.
It's really weird because I was talking with Larkin about this last week when he was telling me he's going to cut him, and he was like, he goes, look at his week by week. He was like, he was amazing for like the first 6 weeks of the year, and really there were only 3 like monster weeks. They put up 70 on Denver, but after that he was below average at best. Yep. Like there were 100-yard weeks, 150-yard weeks, no touchdowns. Everybody would think like, oh, the offense was good. They had explosive plays, but towards the end of the year, it was pretty poor.
Tua is the type of guy who I actually would love to have. And I would love to pick Jaden McDaniels too, because I would play Tua right out of the gates, get him in the heat, get him when his team is fresh, get points on the board quick, and then you can't trade quarterbacks early, but get him out and get McDaniels. Let Jaden get rolling a little bit. That's how I would kind of play it. Like get both of them in the personally.
Yeah, interesting. Good idea. Good thought. I mean, if you got 3 second-round picks and you don't have a quarterback or one you want to play,
I'm telling you, there's gonna be a lot of rookie receivers in that second round. Like, there's just so many of them. But I bet you I can guess where we all go with the first pick. I'm guessing we all think receiver is first off the board. Does anybody disagree with Breen getting Marvin Harrison Jr.?
No.
Any disagreements?
No. It's unfortunate. I really had a lot of plans of getting the first overall pick with the lottery draft and then having Kyler to Marvin Harrison, but the lottery wasn't with me this year. But
Breen wasn't trading.
He's the most pro-ready. He's the most pro-ready NFL wide receiver, or the rookie wide receiver. He's probably going to make a huge impact his first year too.
Yeah. Who are you talking to, Jeff?
My mother. Yeah. Seeing if we should put the central air on in the bedrooms.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I like how Judy's throwing in a Caesar salad. Like, she's showing her range for the, like, I was expecting pepperoni bread, but to hear Caesar salad, I was like, damn, Judy, flex on that range.
You can't do pepperoni bread when we're having pizzas and meatballs. Like, come on.
It's so much heartburn.
Might as well drive over and spit in Pat's face. Knock on the door, huck a loogie, and get back in your car and drive home.
My father would be so upset. Like, I can't compete with this.
Yeah. What's she gonna come over and bring cigars too? Hey, I brought cigars and beer and spit in Pat's face.
Hey guys, I brought a bunch of Rocky Patels now. Hope everyone enjoys them.
I've been looking forward to this, guys. Hey,
my dad's
who do you just get right in my face?
Just emasculated in the corner.
Oh
yeah. All right. So,
speaking of in the corner, we think second pick unanimous Malik Neighbors.
Yeah. I mean, I could make an argument, I guess, for Dunze, but I think Neighbors gets more
opportunities. I think more opportunity. I think the 1 and 2 pick, it's pretty. I would have guessed obvious that we're Harrison Neighbors.
Yep.
Already made the graphic.
So the 3 pick gets interesting. You have Breen back on the board, and then the question for me here is: does he go pedigree or does he go opportunity? I think that's the question for Kevin at 3.
I mean, if we got to think about Kevin's drafting history, it's usually the pedigree, especially where he's at. I mean, he's got a young team, probably thinking, hey, this isn't my year. Maybe next year could be with a couple of moves. I think he's got to go pedigree here and an over opportunity. Because, I mean, you guys have seen it when we've drafted opportunity in the past. It's fleeting, right? It can be this year and then nothing happens. So I think you go pedigree and bank on a first round draft pick. So
I think you're saying you'd go Odunze.
I would go Odunze. Yeah. I mean, especially with the quarterback situation there, seeming like it's in good hands for the foreseeable future. I mean, Keenan Allen, I think the reports that he's at like 265 running routes.
What?
And he's big. Have you watched Hard Knocks?
No.
Oh, he could easily pass for like maybe a tight end or like a small left tackle. Like,
Keenan Allen? Wow.
Yeah, he's big and he's slow. I mean, it doesn't matter. He's always been slow and he's got good hands, but he's on a 1-year deal. I mean, 1 year left. So Odunze, I mean, he made a big play in the preseason game the other night. I think he's explosive and he seems like he's like a really good dude from the Giants like interviews that I watched and stuff during that Hard Knocks. Seems like he's got his head on his shoulders. So.
Pete, are you on Odunze at the 3rd pick, or where do you go? I'm also with Odunze. I think Kevin goes pedigree, personally.
Wow. Well, I'm not going to change what I wrote down, so I'm going to go with what I had. I think he might go with Worthy. I think that there's been enough news about him. It's a Kansas City guy. It's a high-powered offense. He's already made 1 pick, and he's got a couple more later in the round. Why not take a flash and go with Worthy? So I figured he was going to go with Worthy there. But I agree with you both. I hate when people say I don't disagree. I agree with you both that Odunze would be a good pick there as well.
Interesting you bring up Worthy. To me, that's the question. I think, to me, the top 4 is pretty straightforward. I think Worthy goes forward to Lloyd, and I think Lloyd enjoys that pick. So I think that's the right analysis. He's got the most opportunity. TBD with Rashee Rice. If Rice is suspended for whatever reason the next couple of days, that potentially could change my Breen calculus, but I have Worthy out of the 4 spot to Lloyd. Pete, do you have Odunze going 4 to Dan?
He's not going to get – Rice isn't going to get suspended, though, right?
Well, I think that it's interesting that if Larkin's going to be hoping – I would assume hoping Odunze doesn't go 3, right? Because do you really want Worthy and Rice?
Oh, that makes sense, too.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having both of them.
Okay, all right.
If you assume there's going to be a top receiver in Kansas City – if you assume there's going to be a top receiver in Kansas City and you assume it's not Sky Moore or Kadarius Toney, I don't make assumptions. You know I love Kadarius Toney.
Right.
But assume it's one of those 2 guys, I wouldn't mind having both of them.
I saw a highlight the other day. It said Kadarius Toney. We should have known about Kadarius Toney from the Senior Bowl practice. And he absolutely shook this guy, like 20-yard post, shook this guy, not even in the picture. They throw the ball in his hands and he drops it. Like wide open. It was fantastic. And then I was watching the Chiefs preseason game the other night, and he's returning the kick or a punt. He drops it, picks it up, gets like 2 or 3 yards. Next play on offense, they break a touchdown. He gets called for holding, but also he lined up illegally. They're like a holding penalty on Toney, and if that wasn't enough, they also had a.
Did he cost him a game last year because he lined up in the wrong spot? Like, did he cost him a game? Yeah.
He cost Kelsey like the greatest career highlight, ever. That was an unbelievably heads-up play, like toss the ball back. Yeah, and they're like, no, we had a legal formation. Like the one job you had was to say if you were on or off the line. And you've been doing this since you were like 8 years old.
Kelsey did like a 360, like hook and ladder to like his brother. Like it was like the most insane play of all time.
Right.
I love
Taylor Swift was in the end zone hugging him after the play.
I love Kadarius Toney. I love Kadarius Toney.
All right. Okay, so you think Worthy's going? Mike,
I have Worthy going for it. Yeah.
I'm gonna say he goes. I'm gonna say he goes with Montgomery. I think that this would be the spot where the first running back goes. I think that Lloyd should be in a win now mode. This Ross Grimaldi shine is about to wear off, and you're on the clock for a playoff contention. You got to win right now, and I think he's gonna take the best running back available.
I think it's a disappointment if he doesn't make the playoffs, and we don't need to get into but 100% with where his roster is.
Starting, you got to start.
Yeah, it's not cute anymore. You're right. Like, oh, he won like 4 or 5 games. Like, no, you underperformed if you do not make the playoffs this year.
But Jeff, based off that calculus, there's a world where you could see him going the Gus Edwards route, the win now route. Do you agree with Pete's sentiment of Montgomery?
I mean, it's too bad Casey's not here, but you can never go wrong taking Gus Edwards in round 1.
He's good value, by the way. Gus Edwards is good value.
But I would say I think he takes Worthy. I mean, he's in win now right here. He needs to win this year. But I think Worthy's the smart pick, and he's drafted wide receivers pretty well over the 5 years he's been in the league. So I would say he takes Worthy.
I guess.
So Jeff, you and I are off the board the same.
Yeah, now it gets interesting, I think.
Great 4 rookies. I think you have a top 4. I think you have a next 2 as well, though. My only issue is I think the next 2, what direction you go is interesting, but I think the next 2 are, again, a little harder, but I think Spates goes rookie. Do you think he's rookie or you think he's going veteran off the board?
I think he just drafted a rookie. I could see him going veteran here. I think the way he's looking, he also thinks he can win just like the last 24 years, 25 years. That's worked out for him as well. But I think he goes with a redraft here.
And he goes with?
I think he takes Montgomery.
Wow, you guys both think Montgomery is the best veteran running back?
Well, he's also got Gibbs. So Gibbs got hurt. Gibbs got hurt already. You sandwich that backfield, and now no matter injury or whatever, one guy gets hurt, you've got an absolute stud. Both guys are good. Gibbs is probably going to catch more passes this year. I think it's a smart move by him.
Oh, that makes so much sense. I like that a lot. I wish I thought of that.
You had Montgomery already going, so who do you have Spates taking?
Well, Spates likes crappy running back, so I'm having him take Zach Moss here. I think that would probably be the best fit for him, and he would probably end up sucking.
I think Spates takes a rookie. Good analysis on Montgomery. If Montgomery's there, I could see the pick. If it's up to me and I have Montgomery or Moss, I actually prefer Moss. I think he takes Ladd at this pick, and I think that's the opportunity and the upside with the Chargers offense. He saw Olave and what Olave's done the last couple of years, and I think Ladd's in a similar position to Olave. Could potentially be a target monster, if not this year, next year. In a lot of reports that he's the number one for Herbert. I think he goes Ladd at 5, and I think we go rookie.
Interesting. If he were to take a rookie, I don't see it being Ladd.
You don't? Who do you see? Is this because of a Spades take or because of a rookie take?
Rookie take. I think it's Brian. Is it Brian Thomas Jr.?
Jacksonville?
Yeah.
He's right there.
He's right there. I mean, I think he's a first-round pick. He was in an electric offense, put up numbers, big size, speed combo. Jacksonville, I mean, Christian Kirk, I've got him on my roster. I don't trust him. They don't trust him. So I could see Robinson taking that job early.
All right. First, give us the flash, Pete. First 5 picks, 6 picks?
5.
Yeah, first 5 picks are in the books. You want me to put up a slide? I don't have the slide ready yet. I was doing
it. So number 6 is interesting because it gets Breen back up for the 3rd time.
Yeah, Breen's up.
3 first-round picks for the guy who arguably has the worst team in the league because he was the worst team in the league last year. Does having 3 first-round picks change the way you look, or are you still going pedigree?
Pedigree.
Yep. Pedigree. Pete?
Yep.
Pedigree.
Yeah. Pedigree as well. Going high.
Does 2 receivers mean you'd go back to the well with a receiver, or either you leaning running back?
Receiver.
I'm leaning running back.
Pete, let's hear your running back take. You're saying first rookie running back off the board based off what you're describing. Goes 6 to Kevin. Who do you think it is?
Yes, it is the first rookie running back off the board, and it is Brooks. I think that he's going to go Harrison at 1 and then follow up with Worthy. So you got 2 wide receivers. Then he comes back and takes Jonathan Brooks with the spot. Breen, normally, I forget his tendencies. He actually is a big redraft guy, if you believe it or not. Remember all those years where he redrafted
A.J. Dillon.
Kareem Hunt. He would go to Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, Ed Dillon, yeah.
But I think that, in the spot that he's in, and he's really rebuilding, why not take a long shot, something you can be patient on? So I'm going to say Brooks.
Yeah. I also have Breen taking Brooks. I have him going receiver, running back, just to get some diversity in his team. And because I think there's a bunch of rookie receivers that are all kind of jumbled up here. If you can get the top running back off the board, I know he's hurt. He's going to be better than Sanders. He's going to be better than Hubbard. And so another patient play. I think he's the best running back in this draft. And if Kevin walks away from the draft, Odunze, Harrison, Brooks, that's a pretty good haul for a top 3 pick. I think he takes Brooks here, Jeff. Who's the receiver you see him swooping
I'm going to say he takes Thomas here.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. We saw that the same, Pete. Number 7, is it weird that I'm on the pod? Do you want to know who I want to pick or hope to pick, or just give it the straightforward analysis?
Wait, I got a board. You want to see the update?
Analysis. I don't want you to have to reveal your hand, Mike.
I'm not. It depends who goes before me, so it's going to be hard.
Yeah, obviously. Right. I would say this. Do you see when you're sitting in the spot, say it falls how, either of us drafted it, because we've got all the same guys basically gone. How do you see the running back versus receiver debate in your head?
In my head, I don't think I'll redraft. I have 2 second-round picks, so I can grab somebody. There's a bunch of guys that I think are good on the turn at the second. I want to come out of here with a rookie receiver that I like.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a couple guys that I like. A lot of it will depend on who is available and who falls. My hope is to come out with who I think is probably the 4th or 5th best receiver in the class is my hope.
Yeah. No, I think that's the right way to play it. I mean, it's these receivers are all just
there's just a lot of them.
Yeah, there's a ton. And every year it's maybe not the guys at the top, it's someone down the bottom.
Yep.
It's even, I think Christian Watson went in like the 3rd round.
Yep.
He's a keeper now and he's probably the number 1. Who knows? But it's a crapshoot some of these years with these wideouts on who gets hurt and who stays healthy and opportunity. But
it's surprising to me you guys both have Montgomery going this high. I would be surprised if he goes there. But all right, let's just say the draft falls the way you all have it. What do you have me pegged in before I said I was going to take a rookie receiver?
I've got McConkey. Isn't it interesting that these wide receivers outside of Neighbors, they've all got a pretty good quarterback throwing to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're not going to these crap teams that don't
Nope.
have a QB. It's not the Patriots taking one of these guys and having Jacoby throwing to them. They're going to pedigree first round quarterbacks, which is interesting, and that's the same thing here with Herbert and McConkey.
Yep.
I had a Dunze. I thought that at this point he had fallen so far that Kaleli had his flashy wide receiver.
If a Dunze is at 7, I'll make that pick in a heartbeat.
I figured at this point Kaleli just blows a load in his pants and just grabs the Dunze in front of everybody.
I would take Thomas. The way my draft fell, I had myself taking Thomas. I think there's that grouping of I think it's a top 4, and then the next I have 3. I have one other guy that we haven't mentioned in that same grouping, but McConkey, Thomas, and then who my 8th pick is, I have stuck in a group right there.
Okay.
Let's see. If I get a Dunze, Pete, I'll be happy. Let's just say I'll take my shirt off in your dad's house and jiggle my chest in his face. How about that?
That sounds
I already got some spit in his face. Jeez, he doesn't need that now, too.
That's all right. He likes it. Pat likes that sort of stuff. All right, give me the 8th pick. So 8th pick.
Well, so I'll say it on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Michael Turner.
I like the story will live in infamy. The story will live in infamy.
Best mock draft.
So
he's a running. So we're at Darian, correct? I have this correct?
Yes.
Yeah, Darian.
I don't need to look at his tendencies to know that dude picks a running back every year.
Every year, he empties the clip on running backs.
But he has 2 first-round picks.
Mm-hmm.
So he's sitting at 8. He's sitting at 10. Does he roll the dice, pick a running back at 10 and 8? Like where's your head at? I think he's a candidate for, in my mock, I actually have him taking a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
He's a candidate for a Moss or Montgomery here if one of them is available. Knowing that his team is in win now mode, knowing that he has another pick on deck, if he likes a couple rookies, I could see him pulling the trigger. I could see him pulling the trigger on one of the veterans. I didn't pick it, but I could see it.
I could see Montgomery. I don't see Moss. If you look at Christian, yes, he will take running backs. He'll take them early. He'll take them often. He'll take them the whole draft. However, he takes rookies. He takes young guys with opportunity, with some pedigree. I don't see him taking Moss as a, just, hey, maybe this guy's a number 1 for this year. In my mock, if we go the way that I've picked it so far, this is the Jonathan Brooks pick for me. Okay. I mean, it's perfect for him.
Does love rookie running backs. I think he's going to take Trey Benson, the guy in Arizona. That seems like a very Darian-like pick. At this point, he would be the best running back that I had available. And I also think that if Zach Moss was on the board, I do believe that he would pass on Zach Moss. I think that he's more of a rookie. I agree with Jeff looking at the rookie, and he's also a Chase Brown guy, which I don't want to jump ahead, but I think that would affect who he picks here.
Well, he cut him though.
He cut Chase Brown. Oh,
yeah,
I know.
He's also got a pick coming up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I had him taking a rookie here. I have Keon Coleman off the board for Christian.
Coleman, okay.
Only because I think there's, again, I don't have any of the veterans going in my mock. So if it's stacked with rookies, I don't know if he likes Keon Coleman. I don't know if he likes Leggett. I don't know if he likes the guy in San Fran. I think he takes the receiver he likes, and then at 10, he makes a decision. Do I swoop up Benson if he's there? Do I swoop up Moss? Do I swoop up Montgomery? Is predicated entirely on who goes to that 9 pick, but I think he swoops who he likes. Would be my pick. But I pick Coleman just because why not? Let's pick Coleman.
Okay.
Pick 9, Breen. 2 receivers, a running back, everything's on the board. This guy's revamping his team. Is there a world where Breen can make the playoffs with all these picks?
No.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, everything needs to fall right, but I mean, does anybody not think that Harrison has a really good season?
No, I do.
I mean, I think he could be a top 10 wideout if things fall right and Kyler stays healthy. They're probably going to be trailing and scoring points late, and who better to throw to than him and Pete's boy McBride. So, I mean, it's going to be dependent on Dunze and who else he gets. But I mean, potentially, I could see it. Lloyd chokes and Breen takes his spot.
Pete, will you finish higher than Breen this season?
Yeah, I think that the way the teams are structured, I would have to. If Harrison's going to do well and his team's going to do well, that means my quarterback is going to be doing well, and I think I have a better supporting cast. So yeah, I think that I would finish higher than Kevin.
Do you think there's too much hate for Kyler?
No, I think the hate is warranted. Yeah.
Yeah.
He needs to prove it. He needs to shut up.
I don't get what some of these teams are doing. Like, you see the Chiefs are playing Mahomes, right, in these preseason games.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's throwing around the back passes or whatever, but he's getting reps. He's getting ready. And you've got Kyler, who, I mean, he was okay last year when he played, but he's coming off an injury. Like, get him some reps, get him live, get him throwing to these guys. Like,
I'm with you.
Game reps are way different than practice reps. I don't get it.
I don't understand what they're doing. It's kind of scary, but whatever.
Well, let's understand what we think the guy named Kevin Breen's doing. Pete, your 4th first-round pick for Kevin has you going in what direction?
I mean, at this point, he's just probably drafting for talent. I think that the most talented player out there is Rashid Shaheed, the wide receiver for the Saints. So I would have him taking that as just another flyer. I mean, at this point, he also has a ton of second-round picks. I think he's probably going to go into best available mode from here on out.
You think you could take Shaheed, Jeff? I don't think he's taking Shaheed.
No, he's not taking Shaheed. Absolutely.
All right. Well, it was a guess. No. I don't know.
No, hey, listen, everybody's got their own mock.
What do you think, Jeff? Two running backs, 2 receivers? You have him going back to the receiver well?
I had him taking 2 wideouts, I believe. I had him taking or 3, Harrison, Adunze, and then I had him taking Thomas. And now I have him taking a running back. I think he takes Trey Benson in the way that my mock's falling.
Okay. I have him taking Trey Benson as well, and I think I have Kevin at 2 and 2. So I went Harrison, Adunze, Brooks, and Benson. If he came out, I think if he comes in a draft like that, hits one of those receivers, hits one of those running backs, he'll be doing a happy dance. And I have a pretty successful draft for Brain. Last pick of the first round goes to Darren. Could he make a curveball throw? So back on the board.
This is where he sits in the room and looks at everybody with like a shit-eating grin on his face, like, anybody want this pick? Anybody want this pick? He's probably got like a half piece of pizza, a little bit of salad on his plate.
Slim Jims.
He's tired from golf. He's really tired.
Like,
and
I'm ready to
anybody interested? Casey?
First round next year for this pick?
Yeah.
First round next year for this pick?
First 6 year.
No
And
one
DeVito goes over. DeVito's like talking to him, trying to make a deal, offering picks he doesn't have. And then Christian just sits there for a while. Then he ends up making a pick. All right, I guess I'm making a pick.
All right, I guess I'm making a pick. So go take Trey Sermon.
Who's the pick? Who's the Darren's pick? Right out the first round.
Yeah, I've got him taking Keon Coleman.
Yeah,
I got him taking Chase Brown. As I said before, I think that this is the first redraft of the league. He goes and he gets the guy that he cut.
I think he takes whatever veteran running back there he likes. I think he goes either Montgomery or maybe Brown, but I'll take Montgomery for the sake of the mock. I think
I think it'd be surprising to see Montgomery fall out of the first round. But crazier things have happened. So
I wouldn't.
Yeah. Somebody once cut Rashid Shaheed or Rashid Stevenson.
I will tell you, Jeff, if Montgomery's there at 7, I don't think I'll pick him. And I think I'm a team that could compete for a playoff spot. I don't see much value in Montgomery.
I mean, that's why I had him go to Spates. I think it makes the most sense out of anybody taking him just because he has
starting running back. Final board.
The interesting thing, though, is Spates does have the 12th and 13th pick. So you could see jockeying as well as his spot. But Breen with the first pick of the second round, too. All right, let's recap. So we have unanimous Marvin Harrison for Breen at 1, Malik Neighbors for Spates at 2, Adunze and Worthy mocked at 3.
I really should go Adunze there. I
love your mock. I love your mock. Montgomery and Worthy mocked at 4 to Spates, Montgomery, and we got a bunch. Then we start to mix it up. So we've got Montgomery, Moss, McConkey. I think pretty good mock draft. If it goes this way, guys, there's going to be a lot of rookies going in round number 1. Pete, you had a handful of redrafts that Jeff and I didn't have, which would make for an interesting round 2. But look at each other's. Like, what's your reaction, Pete, to mine and Jeff's to mine and Pete? And what do you think sticks and what doesn't stick?
I got to say, I always go into a draft, and I'm always pleasantly surprised that my guys fall. So that's probably not a very good sign for my my scouting eye. But definitely, I thought this was, let me take this down for a second. Usually when we do drafts, I feel like a lot of the times people just draft the people that they cut. So I think I was probably thinking that way. But there is a pretty deep talent here, and I tend to agree with a lot more of your picks than mine.
Jeff?
Yeah, no, I would say it's all similar names, right? Just in different orders. So it's who likes who, who thinks somebody has a better opportunity than someone else. I guess my question would be, do you guys see anybody moving out of their spots?
I think I could see someone moving up versus someone strategically moving out.
I mean, you could see Breen move out, right? If somebody needs the right offer.
Breen should move out of 3.
I don't know.
No, I could see his later too. Him trying to move, or somebody trying to move up to get a rookie. Somebody not in the draft. Myself, Casey, DeVito, someone not in the first.
But you gotta understand, no one wants those. Like, if you could trade the 3rd overall, or you could trade the 6th and 9th overall, like just trade the 3rd overall. I don't know. Green has had good luck later in the draft of drafting people. I would just be like, I don't know. I would draft anything but the first 2.
The draft pick is never as valuable as when it is on the clock.
Nope.
Yeah.
So
nope. I think again, Jeff. I think Breen is certainly the target for someone to, but I think he's not going to be saying, "Hey, I need to get out to acquire more." Like, he has all these picks. You need someone to come up and say, let's say DeVito has a big thing for McConkey, or there's some take someone has. I think you could see someone sneak in. The pick to me that is the most interesting to go get would be that 6th spot, because I think the top 4 is pretty calm. I think that's a top 4, and so like if 5 Spades goes off the board and takes someone you don't expect, and you're like, whoa, I had McConkey, like whatever. I think that spot is a very interesting one that people could get involved with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, if you look at the wide receivers, like last year was a lot of wideouts, right? And in a row, and Breen was at the bottom of it. The 4 or 5 that went in a row, and he took Quentin Johnson, and now he's got.
He didn't even keep him.
Right.
Didn't even keep him a year later. Wow.
Yeah, and you don't see that very often.
No.
Just the absolute fall from grace. But
No.
yeah, I mean, at that point, if he's already got, let's say, Harrison and Adunze, maybe he's looking to move something.
Interesting that you brought up last year. So last year, D'Adarian went Bijan, Spates went Gibbs, Lloyd went Smith and Njigba, D'Adarian went Addison, Duddy, you went Flowers, then Quentin Johnson, then D'Adarian took A-Chain, Rashee Rice to DeLuca, to Lloyd, Charbonnet to Spates, and then I traded back into the first and took Richardson. So it was an interesting first when you look at it in the context of who went after that, because it wasn't like there were some slam dunk picks, even though we thought the draft was a solid one.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have thought that draft was, I mean, those top 2 picks were kind of no-brainers.
No-brainer.
But after that, nobody knew what order to take those wideouts in, including myself when I was on the clock.
And you got lucky.
Yeah, absolutely. Right.
We'll see. I love the draft. It's like my favorite day of the year.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is going to be a good one. I can't wait to see everybody, see Judy spit my nuts. Take some Tums. It's going to be great. I'm driving up now, so I'm going to have my own car. So I'm going to be a lot more flexible with what's going on. I'm excited about that.
Love that. Any predictions for the weekend?
Christian first to fall asleep.
Always.
He's going to be so tired after golf.
Bro, it's early. We're golfing early, too.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to go pick him up at like 5:30 just to make sure he's in the car by 6:30.
Remember, it's
why are we going so early?
Yo, bro. Sun's still out.
It's tea time. I don't need warm-ups.
Mike, you've had a lot of comments about your arms from Andy DeVita specifically.
Nice. Thanks, Andy. Means a lot. Means a lot. I'm good. I don't know. There's a lot of comments about a lot of things, Pete. Nothing.
Mike, you can't make it up Friday night for a pool party?
Nah, I can't make it Friday night.
All right.
I can't make it Friday night.
Yeah, it's a lot. 2 days. Yeah.
I have a feeling that's not going to happen. That DeVito, he's seedy.
I don't know. The text we just got, Pete. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Bail. I think he's going to bail. I wouldn't get your hopes up. That's all I'm saying.
I'm on it being like, hey, guys, come over. I want to host you. What do you want for food? What do you want for this? I don't know, Steve. You're hosting us.
He hit me up the other day. He goes, hey, Jeff. He goes, hey, how many people are coming to my house? I go, the hell should I know? You figure out.
He's like, all right, guys. So I added 2 gallons of water to the pool. That's $6 a piece. So, Denny, it looks like you're going to disperse a lot of water. So I want to make sure that, you pay up front.
God.
He goes, who's in and who's out? And then 5 minutes later, he lists half the people that respond. I was like, yo, let it breathe, dude. Give it some space. You're counting games for Friday. Like,
he's definitely going to bail. He's definitely going to bail. He's definitely going to bail.
There's no way we're jumping into Vito's pool on Friday.
We might be jumping in it. He just may not allow it.
What do you guys want to eat? Oh, dude.
Oh, poor Steve. Hey, by the way, Jeff, you picked Tank Dell in the 5th round last year. You realize that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a good pick. You get lucky every once in a while with stuff like that. I mean, I didn't at that point. Didn't even have Stroud on my radar. I didn't think he was going to be good. So that worked out.
Boy, it's funny when you go back and look. I picked Van Jefferson before Tank Dell. Yuck.
Yeah, but he had an opportunity. I mean, nobody really saw what was coming with that Texans offense.
Rashad Bateman pick. Pete, you picked.
That's awful. That's a homer pick. One of the years I took Thielen, like in the 3rd or 4th round, and he was. I think it might have been last year or 2 years ago. He was so good, and then I screwed Casey over with him. I just traded him right away.
He was good last year to start. He was the only guy that could catch the ball there.
Yeah,
he had a good start to the year as just a solid option every week. Yeah, you took him last year in the 3rd round, Pete.
Yeah, that's my only game plan is hope that you can catch somebody that catches fire that just trade up to Steve or Casey.
Yeah,
I don't feel like we go back and look at the drafts enough, because if you go back and look at this, some of these are fun to go back a couple years.
Oh yeah, it's a great time.
I don't live in the past, baby.
I know you don't, Pete. That's why I like you the most. Well, speaking of the past, guys, let's live for the future. We got the draft 4 days a week. 4th annual Michael Turner in the books. Always great to do this. So thanks for joining, Andy. Thanks for the comments. Brunette Top, thanks for joining. Numero uno. See you in a couple days, buddy.
See you guys.
See you guys.